The state will likewise oppose the bail application, also by way of an affidavit. I'm providing the legal team with a copy of the affidavit. It is an affidavit by the investigating officer, Colonel Flyman, and I wish to read it into the record if the court allows it.
Yes, please, you may proceed.
Bail opposing affidavit in the matter between Nandipha Magudumana, the accused stroke applicant, versus the state. And it reads as, I, the undersigned, Thabo Jobo Flyman, I am Lieutenant Colonel in the South African Police Services, stationed at the Provincial Organized Crime Investigation Division, Bloemfontein. 2. Save where the contrary appears from the context, or where I declare otherwise, the facts deposed to in my statement are within my personal knowledge and are otherwise, to the best of my knowledge, true and correct. Thirdly, I am the investigating officer in this matter. Fourthly, the applicant and 11 other accused will stand trial in the High Court, Bloemfontein, on charges as per annexures to the charge sheet. Paragraph 5 deals with the summary of the facts. The applicant, a married woman, is in a relationship with accused 5, Thabo BESTER, herein referred to as BESTER. BESTER was convicted on counts of murder and rape. He is serving a life sentence and was incarcerated at the Mangaung Correctional Prison, herein referred to as G4S. 5.2. The applicants co-accused, that is accused 1, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, and 12, were employed at G4S. Accused 2 is the applicant's father. Accused 9 was a gardener. Accused 3 was an IT specialist at G4S. The above-mentioned accused acted in the furtherance of a common purpose in committing these crimes. Their purpose was that BESTER must escape. 5.4. The applicant and BESTER are masterminds of the planned escape. 5.5. On or about the 7th of April 2022, the applicant collected and claimed an unidentified body, which was unclaimed from State Mortuary in Bloemfontein, under the false pretense that the body was that of her father, Zingiza Magadla. She then arranged for a funeral and burial of the said body in the early hours of the morning, citing cultural practice. On digging the grave on the 2nd of April 2023 to exhume the body, only rotten meat was found inside the coffin, but no human remains. 5.6. During my investigations, I discovered and confirmed that the applicant booked into a boutique hotel in Bloemfontein during the periods 24 to 28 March 2022, 29 to 30 March 2022, as well as 13 and 14 April 2022. I further discovered that the 3 bookings were made by one TK Nkwana. This is one of the earliest names used by accused 5. 5.7. The first attempt to facilitate the escape was abandoned, and the body was later discovered floating in the Kopano Nokeng River here in Bloemfontein. This body is still at mortuary waiting to be claimed. 5.8. On 23rd April 2022, the applicant and accused 9 approached the mortuary at National Hospital Bloemfontein to claim another unidentified body. On the 27th of April 2022, one Katleo Nkwana hired a rental car at O.R. Tambo International Airport in the name of the applicant's father, that is accused 2. 5.10. This rental car was used on the 29th of April 2022 to smuggle the above-mentioned body into G4S Correctional Facility and hid in the workshop. 5.11. In the early morning hours of 3rd May 2022, the body was smuggled in BESTER cell with assistance of all accused with exception of accused 2. The body and the cell were then set alight with intent to create the impression that accused 5 committed suicide in cell 35. 5.12. BESTER escaped after the CCTV system was disconnected. A charred body was then found in BESTER's cell. 5.13. On 5 May 2022, the applicant, together with accused 2, claimed the charred body found in cell 35 as that of BESTER. In claiming this body, the applicant submitted an affidavit dated 5 May 2022, commissioned at Polokwane to a G4S official, wherein she declared the deceased to be her partner who has no other relatives. 5.14. The applicant arranged for the body to be transported to Gauteng for cremation. 5.15. After the transportation of the body to Gauteng, the South African Police Services, SAPS, received the preliminary post-mortem findings stating the cause of death to be blunt trauma to the head, and further that there was no signs of smoke inhalation. We, in bracket SAPS, immediately stopped the release of the body to the applicant for burial or cremation. In the process, we traced the biological mother of Thabo BESTER. It was later confirmed through DNA that indeed she was the mother to Thabo BESTER. 5.16. On the 20th of May 2022, the applicant lodged an urgent application in the High Court of Northern Gauteng, Pretoria, where I was cited as a third respondent. She requested the court to declare, amongst others, her as the customary law wife of the deceased, Thabo BESTER, that she has the burial rights of her deceased husband, that the South African Police Services, SAPS, immediately released the body of the deceased into her possession, that the police be stopped from harassing her, and ordering the Department of Home Affairs to release the form which states the cause of death of the applicant, Nandipha Magudumana. That's how it is in the papers, in order to facilitate the autopsy as well as burial of the deceased. In her founding affidavit, she declared, amongst others, that she was the customary wife of BESTER, that they met in 2006 while they were studying at the University of Witwatersrand, while Thabo BESTER was doing first year in theology, during which time she was at medical school. That in 2007, the deceased continued his studies at the University of Cape Town, and he continued his studies in prison, and that they started dating on the 21st of May 2017. She further declared that the deceased graduated with an LLB and that she enrolled him for a course in Damelin. That in February 2020, the deceased proposed marriage to her, and that the Lobola negotiations took place on 14 December 2020. She declared further that the said David Magagula has since passed away in 2021. She declares that she does not know any relative of the deceased and that the deceased mother died while he was young and that he was brought up by his grandmother, who also passed away when he was 12 years old. Insofar as the customary marriage, accused 2, who is the father, attached a supporting affidavit declaring that on the 14th of December 2020, a certain Mr. David Magagula arrived at his place to conclude lobola negotiations and that 60,000 rands was paid for customary marriage. Attached hereto is a copy of the notice of motion with the applicant's founding affidavit marked Annexure A. During this application, I discovered a letter dated 16 May 2022 by the applicant's attorney, one Vuyo Manisi, threatening to institute an urgent High Court interdict if the deceased remains were not released to the applicant on or before 5 o'clock of the same day. On 20 May 2022, the court order was, and he quotes it, "The matter stands down to 24 May 2022, unquote. On 20 April 2023, this year, the court ordered the matter be removed from the roll with costs. Another court order, that's now paragraph 5.19, Your Worship. Another court order, also dated the 20th of May 2022, was served on the respondent's legal representatives. According to this order, the matter was postponed to 24 May 2022, and that the body must be released to the Hillbrow mortuary before 22 May 2022. Both these orders were relating to the same case, in brackets, case number 27479 of 2022. 5.20. The second order, which is prima facie false and involving the same legal firm of Vuyo Manisi, is currently under criminal investigation. 5.21. In March 2023, there was a media article about the applicant and accused 5 shopping together at a mall in Gauteng. 5.22. Upon further investigations, I established that the applicant claimed and buried another unidentified body, which she claimed to be that of Temban Dlovu, a brother to accused 9. The funeral was held at the same place and time as the first funeral. Upon digging the grave, Your Worship, I see it's written graves, it must be grave. Upon digging the grave to exhume the remains, we discovered 3 times 10 kg bags of meal were in the coffin with no human remains. It was established by means of fingerprints and DNA that the charred body found in cell 35 was that of Katlego Bereng. 5.24. My investigation revealed that accused 1 was promised 7 million rands to orchestrate the escape. He enlisted the assistance of his co-accused, that being accused 3, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, and 12. It was later discovered that applicant made payments of 85,000 rands to accused 1. 5.25. On 7 April 2023, the applicant, accused 5, and a Mozambican national were spotted and arrested by Tanzanian authorities in Arusha, Tanzania, on transit to Kenya. On 12 April 2023, the Tanzanian authorities issued the applicant and accused 5 with a notice that they were prohibited immigrants in terms of their immigration laws. They were ordered to leave Tanzania within 3 days by escort. The applicant and accused 5 were arrested on 13 April 2023 on landing at Lanzaria Airport from Tanzania. 5.26. The applicant lodged an urgent application to the Free State High Court where I am cited as respondent number 3, praying that the court declare her apprehension, arrest, and abduction and subsequent transportation to the Republic of South Africa to be wrongful and unlawful. To declare her arraignment before the current magistrates court be nullified and set aside the criminal proceedings against her. To direct orders and warrants by magistrates to detain her at Biza Makatu, null and void, and to declare her to be discharged from detention. This application was dismissed with costs. The costs involved are estimated at 600,000 rands. The application for leave to appeal was also dismissed with costs. A petition to the Supreme Court of Appeal, SCA, was filed on 17 August 2023 and is still pending. Paragraph 6. The applicant is applying for bail. I believe this application falls within Schedule 5 of Act 51 of 1977. Paragraph 7. This application for bail is opposed for the following reasons. 7.1. Section 60, subsection 4B of Act 51 of 1977. That is, there is a likelihood that the accused, if she is released on bail, will attempt to evade her trial. A. The merits and background provided in paragraph 5 speaks for themselves. B. When charging the applicant on 14 April 2023, she provided me with the address S22A 2nd Road, Hyde Park, Sandton, Johannesburg. C. Upon my investigation to confirm this address, I obtained a statement from Fortune Property Smith, an estate agent that leased out this property to the applicant. He stated that around 2018, the applicant rented one of their properties at number 12 Aston Street, Sandton. When the rental period came to an end, the applicant approached him to lease the house in question, that is 22A 2nd Road, Hyde Park, Sandton. He states that when she came to view this property, and at all times during the negotiation, a person who identified himself as Tom Katlego Motsepe Nkwana will join them on a video. This person will comment and make suggestions on specifications for renovations. D. The applicant later proposed to move her business to this property and started renovations on the one side of the property. At some stage, the applicant started falling behind with rentals, and sometimes in August 2022, he met face-to-face with Tom Katlego Motsepe Nkwana together with the applicant, and they proposed to him to use the place for events. E. On 21 March 2023, the applicant and the said Thomas Katlego Motsepe Nkwana removed their belongings from this property, and that was the last time that they were seen on this property. This was the same period that the media covered their public appearance. I obtained the lease agreement and discovered that the lease agreement was signed on 15 January 2021 and was valid until 14 January 2023, and that the signatories were the applicant and TK Nkwana. I later discovered that the said Tom Katlego Motsepe Nkwana is one of the earliest names used by accused 5. F. The above-mentioned estate agency further revealed that the applicant had also rented another property at 64A Colony Drive, River Club, for use and occupation by her parents. On 24 March 2023, the applicant instructed the parents to urgently and immediately vacate the property. Again, this was the same time that the media exposed them. Thus, when providing me with this address on 14 April 2023, the applicant knew she was no longer staying at this address as the contract expired in January 2023 and had unceremoniously vacated the property on 21 March 2023. She thus provided me with false information and deliberately misled me. G. The applicant qualified and practiced as a medical doctor. During the course of my investigations, I obtained an affidavit from the Health Profession Councils of South Africa on 14 April 2023. Amongst others, it is declared that the applicant was registered with the council in the category of public service community service with effect from 1st January 2016 until February 2017, when she was registered in the category independent practice medical practitioner. However, the applicant was suspended on the 1st of December 2021 for failure to pay the prescribed fees. Therefore, at the time of arrest, she was no longer permitted by law to practice as a medical doctor. The address where her practice was situated is 3 Lower Road, Green Park, Morningside, Sandton, Johannesburg. During my investigation at CIPC, that is Companies and Intellectual Property Commission, I established that the medical center is registered with a different address, that of 35B Townsend Road, Bedford View, Johannesburg. It is registered as a private company under the name Optimum Medical Holding Group, Pty Ltd. H. My investigation at CIPC further revealed that the applicant's name features in the following companies. Firstly, TBM Pty Ltd. She is registered as a director with 3 other shareholders. The registered address is 219 Broadcrest Country Estate, Gauteng. 2. SACO, SACO Investment and Capital Fund Pty Limited. She is registered as a director, but it appears she has since resigned. The registered address is 22 George Avenue, Rivonia, Extension 1, Sandton. 3. Doctors Network Legacy Pty Ltd, where she is registered as a director. The registered address is 35B Townsend, Bedford View. 4. One or I Medical Life Pty Ltd, where she is registered as a director. Registered address is ground floor, Green Park Corner, Sandton. iCoin Group Pty Limited, where she's registered as well as a director with a registered address as ground floor Green Park, Sandton. Then the other company is Arun Holdings Pty Limited. She's registered as a director with a registered address as 17 Hamptons Bush Willow Park, 87 Greenstone Drive. On 8 August 2023, the High Court Gauteng Local Division under case number 37069/2023 ordered this company to pay 2.8 million rand and 272,000 rands to the two applicants in that matter, that being Lloyd Marcus Tebogo Maduani and Mapuleng Plantina Maduani. Paragraph I. The applicant is married with two minor children that are school going. The two children are currently staying with the father. The applicant deserted the children since March 2023. She decided to elope with accused 5 while she was still a married woman. I have since established from correctional services that the applicant was never visited by her husband and children since her arrest and detention. It has also been established from the telephone register that there was only one telephone call to the husband. Instead, the many telephone calls were to friends and her legal team. J. In terms of properties, there are no properties registered in her name at this office. However, established she owns 3 cars, that being a Porsche, Opel Corsa utility, and Volkswagen. The Porsche in question was used in Bloemfontein during the so-called funerals mentioned above. The applicant fetched accused number 5 from KwaZulu-Natal after the escape using this same Porsche. A tracker confirmed this movement. The applicant left this Porsche with her security when she fled the country. It is currently impounded in Northwest. Paragraph K. The applicant has a valid passport that was issued on 16 February 2017 and will expire in February 2027. It has been established from the Department of Home Affairs that since the issue, this passport was used 23 times for trips outside South Africa. At the time of arrest, she was in possession of 2 other passports belonging to somebody else. Statement of owner of these passports was obtained. She declares the applicant deceived her in handing her these 2 passports. Upon scrutiny of the passport of the applicant, it was established she did not use the passport when she fled the country. This was further confirmed by Home Affairs. This passport was only stamped on arrival at Zaria airport from Tanzania after her arrest. Pardon me for that. L. The applicant has everything to lose by remaining in the country. There are further criminal cases that has since been registered against her. These are the following. Sinoville case 206 of 4/2023. It's a fraud matter where the amount involved is 15 million rands. Sandton case 87 of 4/2023, fraud amounting to 500,000 rands. Runback case 269 of 2/2023, fraud amounting to 1.2 million rands. Benoni case 348 of 8 2023, fraud amounting to 5.112 million. Thank you. My apology. Durban North case 1 of 7 2023, fraud amounting to 150,000 rands. Runback case 269 of 3 2023, fraud amounting to 900,000 rands. Paragraph M. The applicant is not only facing long term of imprisonment if she is convicted on the above mentioned matters, but is also facing further civil claims. The applicant is facing a long-term imprisonment regarding this matter. As previously stated, the applicant left the country illegally and was traced in Tanzania. South Africa does not have an extradition treaty with Tanzania. Extradition is nonetheless a long and protracted process. In a matter of State versus Diwani, his wife was killed while on honeymoon in November 2010. He was only extradited in April 2014. Paragraph N. The applicant is facing serious charges. The state has an overwhelming case against the applicant and is linked to the crimes as follows. Count 1, fraud. There's direct evidence, eyewitnesses who confirmed that the applicant claimed the body and arranged for a fake funeral. Count 2, violation of a body. The very same body that the applicant claimed was recovered in the river and in the grave was rotten meat and not a body. Count 3, the contravention of Section 3B of Act 12 of 2004, that is corruption. The applicant and a co-accused acted in the furtherance of a common purpose. Their aim was that BESTER must escape. The objective evidence of bank statements shows that the applicant was also on occasions a source who provided the money to accused one for distribution to their co-accused. So far, it has been established the applicant paid 85,000 rand to accused number 1. Count 4, the contravention of Section 31A of Act 12 of 2007, should be 4, corruption. See the summary provided regarding count 3. Count 5, fraud. Direct evidence and eyewitnesses who confirmed that the applicant and the accused 9 claimed the then unidentified body. The objective evidence is that the applicant's fingerprints was on the claim form. It is required that the person who claims such a body must give his or her fingerprints. Count 6, arson. To facilitate the escape of BESTER, the unidentified body and BESTER's cell were set alight. See also count 8 to 12. Count 7, violation of body. There are direct evidence, eyewitnesses, that the applicant arranged a fake funeral, that the applicant fraudulently claimed the body, count 5, as that of BESTER. When claiming this body, she also made a false statement to the police. The applicant introduced herself also as Dr. Nandipha when she claimed the body of BESTER in Haggis. Count 8, assisting an inmate to escape. See the contents of the evidence, count 7. Count 9, contravention of Section 115E of Act 111 of 1998, harboring and concealing an escaped prisoner. The applicant rented a house in Sandton where she and BESTER stayed. There is a lease agreement and files that were seized on these premises after the arrest. The applicant and BESTER were seen by members of the public in each other's company. They also committed further fraud after the escape. There was even security to protect them at this house. Count 10, defeating the ends of justice. See the summary provided regarding count 5, 6, and 7. Count 11, fraud. Direct evidence, eyewitnesses implicated the applicant. See the summary provided regarding count 5, 6, and 7. Bail condition would not prevent applicant to flee the country. She evaded the police for 11 months. She fled the country and did not use a passport when she left South Africa. She has no respect for the law and even tried to use the legal system to get hold of the body. She brought an application that the body, count 5, must be released and that the police must be interdicted from harassing her. She stated that it is BESTER's body and that she is his customary wife. She stated that she and BESTER met whilst they were studying at Wits University. BESTER studied theology. Whilst BESTER was in custody, BESTER obtained his LLB degree. She lied about the death of David Magagula. It has been established that the uncle to Thabo BESTER is Class Magagula, who is the uncle to accused 5 and who confirmed there was never a David Magagula. 8.3, Section 60, subsection 4C of Act 51 of 1977. The likelihood that the applicant, if she is released on bail, will attempt to influence or intimidate witnesses or conceal or destroy evidence. Some of the witnesses are known to the applicant. The counts of corruption are an indication that she could influence witnesses. 8.4, Section 64D of Act 51 of 1977. The likelihood that the applicant, if released on bail, will undermine or jeopardize the criminal justice system, including the bail system. A, the applicant, knowing that the information is false, brought a false application for the release of the body. B, the applicant, knowing that it is false, alleged in the High Court of Bloemfontein that she was kidnapped from Tanzania. 8.5, Section 64E of Act 51 of 1977. The exceptional circumstances that the public peace or security or likelihood that the release of the applicant will disturb the public order or undermine the justice system. A, the nature of these offenses induced a sense of shock to the community. It was well-planned operation. A convicted rapist and murderer was back in the community. D, there was a total disrespect towards the dignity of the two bodies that they claimed. The second body, Katlego Bering's family, was heard and still has more questions than answers. E, these crimes jeopardize the public confidence in the criminal justice system. The persons who were to ensure that a dangerous person, BESTER, was locked up, was put back on the streets because of corruption. F, corruption is a huge problem in our country, and hardly a day went by when the enormous proportion of corruption is not in the media. G, the applicant has no respect for the justice system, as previously mentioned. H, as a result of these crimes that were committed, a parliamentary committee investigated these crimes. Paragraph 9. There is a substantial incentive for the applicant to evade a trial. 10. I have had the opportunity to scrutinize the affidavit by the applicant and wish to state the following. 10.1. At paragraph 7.1.5 of the affidavit. I also scrutinized the supplementary statement by one Natsai Michelle Chibaya. I have since established that Natsai Michelle Chibaya is a Zimbabwean citizen who obtained permanent residence in the Republic of South Africa only in July 2018. Her residential address on the system of the Department of Home Affairs is 31 Kwela Close, 16 Maiven Avenue, Douglasville, Johannesburg. The fact that this person has been staying in this address only from January 2022 is concerning. I wish to state further that accused 9 is a Zimbabwean who was employed by the applicant first as a gardener and later promoted to a security guard. A black Mercedes-Benz, which was rented by the applicant, which she never returned, and which was later found abandoned in Zimbabwe when she was still at large. This is evident that the applicant has close ties with Zimbabwe. Her friendship with this person she states she will stay with is concerning. 10.2, at paragraph 7.4 of her affidavit, she states, amongst others, she was practicing as a medical doctor until her arrest. As stated above at 7.1g, the applicant was suspended from practicing as a medical doctor in December 2021. If she had been practicing as she alleged, this was unlawful. Paragraph 10.3, at paragraph 8.2, I categorically dispute this allegation. And this was the allegation that she was sort of kidnapped, put in a car, and she found herself in Tanzania. Through thorough investigation, I have established that the applicant was the one who drove from Johannesburg to fetch accused 5 from KwaZulu-Natal after his escape. As stated at paragraph 7.1e above, the applicant and accused 5 rented out a house together. They are both signatories to the lease agreement. My apology. The two, that being applicant and accused 5, were spotted shopping together by the media in March 2023. The applicant and accused 5 traveled together and stayed in Cape Town, where, amongst others, the applicant wrote out a prescription for accused 5 and visited a salon together. Looking at how the applicant is involved and the role she played in the escape of accused 5 as outlined above, there is no piece of evidence that she was at any stage forced and or threatened in any manner. Prior to the escape of accused 5, the applicant stayed in one of the boutique hotels in Bloemfontein in March 2022 and April 2022 in what looks like facilitation of the escape. The applicant is currently detained in Kroonstad, while accused 5 is detained in Pretoria. Since her arrest, no case was opened of kidnapping. The applicant and accused 5 has been appearing before this court on more than one occasion. They appear showing there is affection to each other. They were seen holding hands and smiling to each other. See example, a picture of them during the last appearance on 8 August 2023, attached as Annexure B. Paragraph 10.4, at paragraph 8.3, 8.4, 8.5, 8.6, 8.7, and 8.8. As appears from 10.3 above, the applicant had been freely moving around in KZN, Gauteng, and the Western Cape. There is a border post between South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Zambia to reach Tanzania. The applicant had had ample time to alert any of the authorities about the so-called forced removal. The estimated distance between South Africa and Tanzania is 3,400 kilometers. This is all I can declare, and it is commissioned, Your Worship, and signed at Bloemfontein today, the 29th of August 2023. I wish to submit it as Exhibit J as a basis.
Thanks for watching, fellow crime enthusiasts. Please like, share, subscribe and hit the bell button. Cheers for now.